discussing today is titled Whaam, a pop art painting by Roy Lichtenstein that is very characteristic of his work and the style he developed during the 1960s.
Yeah, and what's great about Lichtenstein is that he originally started as an expressionist painter, which was a style famous for his time, but he was really only testing the waters.
It's really a funny story because one day his son challenged him to create a painting similar to an illustration of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck from a children's book. And the result was just really defined his style from there on.
I think Whaam is a great example of what sort of work Lichtenstein began doing in the early 60s. This painting was done in 1963 using acrylic and oil paints on a canvas, and he took this ordinary clipping from a comic book titled All American Men of War and transformed it into a piece of art.
Yeah, when looking at this painting, there's no really perception of depth. Lichtenstein really liked to keep his paintings flat with no real sense of space.
Yeah, and in Whaam, we see the famous Lichtenstein black lines, and he was basically the first artist to really use the thick black lines in his work, and it really took off as a trend amongst various artists. What's neat about his work is that the lettering he does in the text box is all free-handed. You know, Lichtenstein's objective in his paintings is to take this repeatedly reproduced commercial image, like the comic book illustration, and transform it into something that can be considered art. And we see that from far away because he looks very streamlined, but when you get close, you begin to notice that his lettering is his own handwriting. And
yeah, and of course his paintings took a lot of preparation. He first sketches out his plans, projects it onto canvas itself, and then uses various stencils to create the desired look of his piece.
And the text itself adds to the overall theme of the painting. It reads out, "I pressed the fire control, and ahead of me, rockets blazed through the sky." And it plays well with the whole comic feel to the piece and the war scene it's trying to depict.
Yeah, and what Lichtenstein tries to do in his pieces about war and being in the military is to make it seem very masculine and boyish, something he contrasts through his comic strips of adolescent girls going through different moments of their romantic relationship.
Let me just interrupt you for a second to say that I completely agree with what you just said. What I enjoy most about Lichtenstein is that although he is famously known for his comic book style to pieces, he takes his same almost trademark style, the black bold line, primary colors, and Bandai dots, and he uses it to do various mediums of work. His famous brushstroke pieces are sort of an homage to his past expressionist work, but in his new pop art style, he recreates several famous pieces like those of Picasso and Monet, and with his famous Lichtenstein style, and he even moves out of painting and works in sculpture such as a house and wall explosion too, which is based off of the explosion he did in Whaam.